Alright everyone, it's your boy Kainat Suzuki here, and welcome back to another new spanking hot what if video. And today I actually came up with probably the a original idea that is only inspired off of one movie that came out a couple of years ago. I can't remember if it was 2016 or 2018. Well, basically, a couple years ago, I saw this movie, and I fell in love with the movie and the storyline and everything about it. Seriously, it's epic as all hell. And, well, depending if I have a bed, if it's on Hulu, Amazon, or Netflix, I'll be watching it tonight. This what if is called What If Naruto was Kubo. Now, y'all might be wondering, who the F is Kubo? Kubo is from a movie called Kubo and the Two Strings. You see, Kubo is a grandchild of, well, basically the god of the moon. His mother was basically one of his strongest soldier, who betrayed him for a mortal. As a result, she grew humanity. Now, this what if basically Kushina is not an Uzumaki. Well, yeah, she still is an Uzumaki, but the Uzumaki are not a clan. Instead, instead of red hair, Kushina has long black hair. And has basically imagine her hair, except black. And she does not have the 9 tails. Okay? As I must say, only Uchihas can have the 9 tails. And can hold the 9 tails. So yeah, pretty much, imagine that whole thing, except the 9 tails get sealed inside of Sasuke, and, all that. Now, basically, the 4th Hokage does the same thing, risks his life and seals the 9 tails into, well, Sasuke. As pretty much, well, before the 9 tails is sealed inside Sasuke, it kills Kushina. Because if Kushina is here, then that will ruin my plans for the series. Okay? As basically, Kushina dies because she has become mortal. For those wondering, wait, what about the whole Kaguya Tatsuki thing? What about, the planetary devastation seal and all that? Well, I must say that there is 2 moons. I must say that the moon has always existed. Kaguya was basically just sealed in a box that was basically brought to a black hole, as Kaguya and the Otsutsuki will not be important in this story. Understood? Good. Now, back to what I was saying. As Naruto basically, Naruto, basically what happened was Nine Tails kills Kushina, Minato dies Reaper's Death, sealing it, and, well, yeah. Ninetales gets sealed inside of Sasuke. However, Fugaku actually being nice to Sasuke again this one, and wanting to protect his son, would have to throw Naruto under the bus, as the day Naruto was born, something unexpected would happen. Not only would the Ninetales attack happen, but, well, suddenly what appeared to be a pillar of light sprang down from the moon and snatched and basically ripped out one of Naruto's eyes. As when that happened, Naruto was basically blessed with enhanced strength, enhanced speeds, and of course, guitar magic. As by playing the guitar, Naruto can control, well, the wind, as he can basically make origami come to life. With his guitar, possibilities become mere theories, and what if and ideas become basically possibilities with this guitar. However, only Naruto can use it, as Naruto would have been called a demon for having this strange power. And to top it all off, Fugaku would of course lied and said that Naruto had the Ninetales, classifying him as a demon. As for many days and many nights, Naruto would have been harmed and threatened and hated. However, one person was kind to Naruto. Soon, the old woman who lived in the village, Tsunade. As Tsunade was a good friend of Kushina's. Kushina, of course, would have also told Tsunade all about, well, her being basically a goddess. As, well, the reason why Kushina died and gained a human personality was because that the Moon King, and was because that the Moon God Raiden, yes, that's actually his name, look it up, because the Moon King Raiden the Moon King Raiden only took one eye from each of his daughters, allowing them to be harmed, as he did not see them worthy. And no, it's not because they're females. It was because that he just clearly never saw any higher potential than being warriors for them. As for Naruto, he would see high potential indeed. In fact, potential to become a god. As Tsunade would know of the Moon King and his plans. As, of course, Kushina would have told her all about her father and her sisters. As, well, Kushina, basically Tsunade every night she would she would close the blinds, close the windows, lock the doors, everything. And would even have invisible warding seals around, well, her home which Naruto lived in. As she would protect Naruto, no matter what. For she knew that if Naruto was out in the night, they would be able to find him. And the sisters would be able to find him and bring him to, well, the Moon King. As she tried to tell Naruto why he was never allowed to go out, to be out late, or why he was never to be up at night. Up at night or outside at night. However, he did go by her orders. At least that is until one day. Tsunade would have been Tsunade would have been outside the village on a mission. As on her mission, Tsunade would have met a grim fate at the hands of Orochimaru. As for a couple of weeks after that, Naruto would always follow Tsunade's orders. And that was until one morning he awoke and smoke lit. And there was smoke blazing flames all around him. Wood burning and falling down as the entire home would basically be destroyed, as the villagers knew that Naruto was inside of this place, and with Tsunade gone, he would be a perfect target, as they would burn his home down, as Naruto would basically, wherever he went for the night, he would have those warding seals. As Tsunade would have said, it's very important. As the reason why Tsunade and Kushina feared if Naruto being taken was if he was to return, would he want to destroy the world? And would he want to be evil or good? Would he be the same or different? Would he want to kill every mortal or not? They had no clue. They pondered this for many days and many nights. They pondered this until, they died. As we go back to the present, as one night Naruto is basically out and one day Naruto is out gathering food as he is, just a bit late. He is a bit late to get home. As while Naruto is walking towards a small cave while Naruto is walking towards a small cave he found, as he would have basically blocked it up and would use seals on the cave. As Naruto would be walking down the cave as he would see the sun set. as suddenly the dark blanket of night would stretch across the sky, as Naruto would then hear something. He would hear a sound that sounded like, well, whooshing in the sky. As Naruto would basically look upward, and would look upward into the distance as he would see, two women with robes made of black feathers, and with capes made of black feathers and iron armor on, and metal armor on. One with a kama and chain, another with dual katanas. As the two women would begin flying down, and would basically fly down after Naruto. Naruto would be terrified and would run into his home and into his area. However, he would not close the door, but the seals would be activated. As the two women as one of the women would basically be right in front of the seal, as she would say, "So, you're Naruto, is that right?" she would say. As Naruto would then say, Who are you?" As she would then say, I'm your sister. I am your mother's sister, or your aunt," she would say. As she would then say, "Or you may just call me Takara Uzumaki," she would say. As Naruto would say, "What are you doing here? How are you flying and all that?" As she would then say, "We are not exactly human, and we are not exactly mortal. But we just came down here to check on you, to at least get a little look at you. After all, your grandfather has a lot of belief in you, and thinks you have much promise." As Naruto would then say, "Grandfather?" As they would then say, "You will understand later, but for now, sleep." As even though there was a barrier, and even though there was barrier seals, they would basically have used a mist to put Naruto asleep. While Naruto was falling asleep, the sister with the two katanas would then say, "Now I genuinely think that he is just adorable," she would say to the other sister. As Takara would say to the other sister, as she would then say, "Yes, he is rather cute, isn't he?" "Yes." Well, I guess we'll see him when he's when he's 10 and when he's 9, was it? As then the elder sister would then say, yeah, 9. Yeah, it was 9. As the two would basically then disappear. As Naruto would basically, and as 2 would basically float away. As we skip 1 week later, Naruto would have thought that that was a dream of some sort, as there would have been no trace that anyone was there, here except him. As he would have then thought, that was a strange dream. Very strange indeed, he would say. As Naruto would then say, and would basically then say, oh well, time to endure this hell again. And time to endure this painful hell again, he would say. As if you did not guess, Naruto looks like this. As the yellow hair from the fourth Hokage would have turned, and from Minato would have turned the Naruto's hair, which was entirely black, and which from his mother would have been entirely black, to brown, just from the brightness of the yellow hair. As Naruto would have the skin color he has, as his mother was entirely pale. Pale when his mother was entirely pale. His father, well, he had his normal skin. As Naruto would basically walk into the Leaf Village and would be bullied, attacked, and harmed. As we skip, well, to Naruto's 8th birthday, as he's praying for something to kill him, to end his life, end his seemingly eternal misery. As Naruto, basically, he's been crying ever since he was 4, which was the age he was. When Tsunade died, as he would hate himself so much. And he would have been beaten and hurt. He would beg them to kill him, for he could not stand the suffering, but he wanted to survive. He wanted to live, but also die at the same time. As one day, Naruto, well, he goes to, the academy like normal. As long story short, he fails the test. As Mizuki tries to fool Naruto. Naruto, of course, being dumb, would believe Mizuki, when in reality, Mizuki would be planning to kill Naruto as soon as he got the scroll. As Naruto basically would would be shaking in fear and would say, "Please, don't kill me." As Mizuki would throw his shuriken at Naruto, who like cannon. However, Iruka would not be there. As Iruka knew that he was a traitor, and that, well, Mizuki was one of Orochimaru's men. However, Iruka would also want Naruto dead. Just as Mizuki's shuriken was about to attack Naruto, there would be a swift lash of water and a swift slash of water. As the shuriken would have been cut directly in half. As one half would fly all the way to the left, as another piece would fly all the way to the right, both hitting random trees. As the same slash of water would then hit Mizuki, then slashing him apart as well. As then the water would then dissipate and would evaporate. Or no, the water would then fall down. As Naruto would open his eyes and shiver, as he'd then say, "What? What in the..." As he would begin breathing heavily, and he'd say, "Strange. That's very strange indeed." As Naruto would basically, would basically been brought to Team 7 like normal, and pretty much everything goes to canon except, well, when Naruto goes, tailed beast, when Naruto uses any Fox Chakra, it's replaced with Sasuke using Fox Chakra, okay? As pretty much Naruto shivers in fear, and usually he just doesn't exactly, fight. As he more such is only on the team for entertainment. As, even though he would have been classified as a demon, everyone admired his origami skills, including one girl with dark blue hair, and I'm pretty sure orange eyes and pale skin. As this girl would be Konan, as she would admire Naruto's skills for origami, as she would model her origami off Naruto's. Yes, that's how good it is. As Konan would have become, and would eventually become very interested in Naruto. As, well, we go to basically the second Zabuza fight. As Zabuza and Haku would be on the bridge and would attack Team 7. Sakura would be useless as always. As, well, Kakashi would use his Chidori and Sharingan. Sasuke would use his Sharingan, he would use his Sharingan, throw some kunai, and would also use Nine Tails Chakra. as I'm gonna say that he knew how to use it, or at least command it. As he, like everyone else in the village, would bully Naruto, but would appreciate his origami. As Naruto would put on many wonderful shows with only about 10 pages of paper and 10 small pieces of paper. He could put on he could have goblins and trolls and dragons and knights fighting against each other. He could have an entire sea with a fisherman. He could create an entire planet and he could create an entire building just out of paper. As many people, of course, would try to take Naruto's, guitar and use it for their own personal gain. As even Konan would want to know the secret of Naruto's power. As she thought, he must be using that guitar. That's cheating. As she would try to use the guitar, but would understand that it is only a conduit for his power. As she would then think, very well then. Back to the Zabuza attack. As Naruto would have been wounded quite badly, and Sasuke would have used a Chidori on him, and would basically have thrown Naruto into the lake, and into the watery depths below. As Naruto would have died, as Naruto would have almost died. Almost. As he'd be trying to swim, but drowning as well. As he would land on a small piece of land. Hold on. Sorry about that. As Naruto would land on a small stranded area the lake would have led him all the way to the land of mist, and to the mist village, or at least a couple miles near it. As Naruto would be 6 miles away from the mist village. As he would then say, where am I? As Naruto would fall over, but would quickly regain his footing. As Naruto would find a small, little cave, and would basically find some. No, Naruto would not find a cave, but he would find some sticks, and would light himself a fire by clinging to rocks together, or rubbing 2 sticks together. As Naruto would then hear something unexpected. As Naruto would basically... As Naruto would have basically... he would be just out in the open, all alone, without any seagulls or anything. As suddenly, he would basically be in this area for about almost an entire year. As Naruto would have made himself a small little, home for himself out here. Away from the Leaf Village and away from anyone else. as Leaf Village would have thought Naruto dead. Now Jiraiya, Hiruzen, and even Orochimaru would be angry for this, as Orochimaru was sort of neutral. He was not exactly a villain, but not exactly a hero either. As the reason Orochimaru killed Tsunade was, well, personal reasons. Basically, Orochimaru got angry at Tsunade for doing something wrong to him. And he would have, of course, paid back with blood for blood. As Orochimaru would have heard that Naruto was dead and would actually cry. As, well, he knew that Naruto was a very special boy. Not just because of his power, and not just because of his abilities, but he would have actually cared for the kid. He would have been like a second father, or a elder brother to Naruto. As Jiraiya would have been more like a old pervert grandpa. Basically, imagine if you had Master Roshi as a uncle. Yeah, that's what Jiraiya basically was. As the third Hokage was basically like Naruto's grandpa. As tomorrow would be Naruto's 9th birthday. As for some reason, there would always be harsh winds around the leaf and around the entire world, especially the Leaf Village. Except for, well, where Naruto was. And except for Jiraiya, the third Hokage, and Orochimaru. Anywhere where they lived, it was not exactly so windy. As the third Hokage would have quit being the third Hokage. And basically, he would mourn the loss of loved ones. And of loved ones. As, well, Naruto would go to bed and wake up in the morning, as it would be a sort of normal-esque day. Naruto would have many strange visions. That's why I said normal-esque. He would basically have daydreams of an eye. And of his eye. As in the one he could see out of. And not the one that was stolen. And not the one that he did not have. As Naruto would have, well, Naruto would have been, well, powerful. Well, not powerful. Exactly, Naruto would have seen visions of this eye, and all of which it carried. As the visions Naruto would have seen are visions of pain, disease, horror, fear, sickness, sadness, and even death. As being half human kept Naruto from being like his aunts and his mother, a soldier with semi-immortality. As as well, if Naruto now Naruto could see that this eye was something that no one should ever have, and that he should not have. This eye that was stuck in his head. He tried everything to get it out. Jutsus, nothing. Sorcery, he tried everything. Jutsus, nothing. Origami, nothing. As he would wonder why did this eye carry so many things and allow him to see so many things. As Naruto would think about his parents and all who he has lost, and would think about his parents and Tsunade, as Naruto would then cry out of his one eye, as it would be sunned, as the sun would set while Naruto cried, as Naruto would look down, as suddenly someone would lift up and would basically hold Naruto's chin and lift it up. As Naruto would look at an old man would look at a man that looked like this, as he'd say, Who are you? As the old man would then say, It's been a... Why are you sad, child? As Naruto would have explained to the old man, and to the man, why he was sad. Of him losing people, being tortured and hated. As Naruto would want to protect himself, but also would want people to just at least think of him as something not unholy. As the old man would then say, I'm sorry, dear child. I knew I should have been here sooner. I was late, I'm late, and I'm sorry. As the man would then say, Hey, in this life you only have torment, fear, hatred, and evil, and pain, death, sorrow, disease, and so many more sin, and so many more evils. As Naruto would then say, all I want is to just be remembered, at least be a story, and at least just be there to still tell some stories and people actually listen and not call me a demon. As the man would then look at Naruto and say, well, boy, where we're going, if you come with me, you will be far above stories. There will be hundreds of stories about you. There will be legends, myths. You would be infinite, without an end. As Naruto would then say, really? As the man would then say, as I said, this world and reality, and this world only carries these death, pain, suffering, hatred, sorrow, disease, these sickness, and much, much, much more. However, where I want to take you, and where I want to bring you, there is no pain, no sorrow. There's nothing such as that, and there is only eternal bliss and happiness. As Naruto would then say, really? As the man would then say, of course. However, there is one thing that you cannot have if you come here, and if I bring you to this place. As Naruto would then say, what's that? As the old man would then smile at Naruto and say, your eye. As he would point at Naruto's one eye, as he would say, many years ago when you were born, I removed one of those cursed things from you. They keep you weak, foolish. For you have potential which I have seen, potential which I want to unlock. However, those eyes are like chains of weakness, foolishness. That guitar would be useless had I not taken your eye, and had I not taken one of your eyes. As Naruto would then say, hey, useless? What do you mean? As the man would then say, as I told you, and as eyes are futile, bring all of this suffering, pain, and futility. Without them, there is only bliss and peace. Without your eyes, your potential would be, without those cursed eyes, your potential would be unlocked. As he would then say, all I need to do is take your other eye. As Naruto would then say, if that's all it takes, then please, grandfather, and please, old man, take my eye out of my head, for I have tried everything today, and for I have tried everything all day, from using origami to using my hands, to using metal tools of all sorts. I've tried to destroy it, attack it, rip it out, but nothing works. As the old man would then say, as I told you, these eyes are cursed, meaning only a divine being can lift such a curse. As he then said, and I am a divine being, and you are my grandson. As he then say, 5 years ago I sent your aunts to at least check on you, to see what you were like. And they instantly came back and felt happiness once more. As ever since their sister had left, all they felt was pain. You brought back happiness to them. And so, therefore, that is another reason why I must take that eye out. As the old man would then say, this might hurt, but it will be the last pain you ever do feel. As the old man would say, and as Naruto would then say, then please, grandfather, do it. As he would have his eye open, as the old man would place, and as he'd have his eye closed, as the old man would place his hand over Naruto's eye, as a glow of divine moonlight would come out of the old man's hand. as it would go right where Naruto's eye was, as Naruto would shake for just a bit. As where the eye once was, as suddenly divine light would be, as a blue crack, and as blue divine energy, and as a divine blue marking would crack on Naruto's face, as his eyes would become like moons, as he would then say, "Thank you, grandfather." As Naruto would now, and would basically walk away with his grandfather, as the old man would bring Naruto, and would basically begin to fly, as he'd say, "Naruto, please, hold on to my hand," as Naruto would hold the old man's hand, as the two would basically fly up to the moon. As Naruto when he got there, here the old man would then say, "Now to get you into some much nicer clothes, and now to get you into a proper divine immortal attire." As the old man would basically bring Naruto to a closet which was prepared specially for him, as all the clothes would have been, and as all the fabric of his clothes would have been knitted by his one aunt, as all the metal parts of his clothes would have been forged by his other aunt, as Naruto would put on, and as Naruto's clothes would basically have been switched out for the new clothes, as his old ones would then dissipate into moonlight, as Naruto's hair would become much longer, as he now looks like this. Okay? Pretty much this is now Naruto. As Naruto then says, "Grandfather, thank you. Thank you very much." As Naruto then says, "Do not worry, grandson. All I did was help you. And now you may live here peacefully for many years. And now you may live here peacefully. And any time you want, you may go down there. But only at night. I beg of you." Well, no, you can come down at any time you please. As since you are, since you are now immortal, your grandmother should have a kind gaze upon you, and should have a kind gaze upon you, and not destroy, and not harm you. As Naruto's grandmother is the Moon Queen, and is the Sun Queen. As, Naruto is now an immortal god, and is now pretty much a immortal god. As Naruto would stay at the moon for many years, for many, 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 many years. As well, hold on, just pausing the story a bit. You guys tell me who the ship should be. Should it be, well, of course it would have to be an immortal, but should it be like his aunts or something? You guys pick the ship. Who will they be? Demon? Goddess? The choice is yours. As Naruto would basically be in this heavenly realm for many, 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 and for about 5 years. As when Naruto was 14, his grandfather would then say, "Hey Naruto, you are now free to leave whenever you choose." As Naruto would then say, "Yes, grandfather. May I go to the mortal realm? May I observe the mortal realm?" As the Moon King would then say, and Raiden would then say, "You may." As Naruto would basically then say, "Thank you, grandfather." As he would then begin to fly. As Naruto would then begin to fly. Long story short, he would arrive on the earth. As suddenly, water would begin, as Naruto would basically arrive in an ocean during a ginormous tidal storm. As when Naruto arrived and touched the water, suddenly all the water of the entire oceans, lakes, everything, every single drop of water on Earth would become still and immovable. As Naruto would walk on water without affecting it. As Naruto would basically walk the ocean, and would walk on the ocean, as he would reach the land. And as when he touched the ground, his feet would be completely dry, along with his clothes, as water had no effect on him or his clothes. As suddenly a man would recognize Naruto. As the man would then say, "Demon! Huh? Undead demon!" As he would charge at Naruto with a broken, and with a katana missing a tip. As he would charge at Naruto, and, well, Naruto would grab his katana, as he would do one single slash. As it would basically be like Tanjiro's water breathing. As a slash as the blade would have water come out of it. As he would then slash the mortal. As he'd then slash the man. And as suddenly, well, the man would then split apart into nothingness. As Naruto would then sheath his sword, as he would say, "Even after 5 years, they still have not changed. What a disappointment. And here I thought they would that they would actually have changed. And here I thought for at least 1 picosecond that they would have actually changed. Oh well, it's just as grandfather says, mortals will never change. I still have no idea why Mother chose to come down to this world and mate with a mortal. I mean, it would have been excellent if I was born as a immortal. But instead, I was born mortal, and I had to experience all of that pain and suffering firsthand, without a mother or father, for that matter. As Naruto would then say, anyway, next stop, the leaf, the hidden leaf. As he would then grin and unsheath his sword, as it would be scraping against trees and everything it touched, as everything it touched instantly just fell over. As there would be a ginormous trail of trees that were just chopped down. As the trail of trees led from the ocean, and led from near a beach, all the way to the Leaf Village. As Naruto would raise his sword and would say, as he would then smile and say, cliffhanger no jutsu. As that's where I'm ending this part off. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you guys want to see the part 2 of this series, then please tell me who you think the ship should be. Should they be mortal? Should they be a demon? Should they be immortal? I'm pretty sure they should be immortal. But, well, you guys decide. And goodbye. Skadoosh.